All right, my friends, at long last, welcome to ACIM Talks, and it's Monday, February 23rd, and gee whiz, we've been on the call for a few minutes before we started this recording. So let's see if we can spend a productive 60 minutes at a maximum, I guess, for our session tonight. Any comments or questions or anything from anyone before we start?
Okay, I just have one now. I can't.
Yeah.
When I changed, I can't see the agenda. What page are we on?
Well, we are, tonight we're starting on page 138
Okay.
in the Unity and A Course in Miracles book.
Okay.
And so that's where we're going to start. But I was looking some of this over, which, I usually tend to look it over before our sessions. And there are 12 chapters. We just started chapter 10. And it started on, let's do a walkthrough, okay? Start at 136. Because I'm impressed with this chapter, and I'm impressed overall with the things that this book has chosen to address. And I think it's really reflected. It started on page 136, and they don't number these things in the book, but I found it helpful to number the sections. Like, see on 136, the first section is called Dream/Illusion. And then the next section starts on 139 called The Physical Universe. You see that? So that's section 2. There are going to be 6.
Okay, I'm sorry, Jim. What chapter? I got it on electronically. I'm not looking at the book, and it doesn't correlate with the pages. So what
Chapter 10.
Chapter 10. Okay.
The first section is called Dream/Illusion.
Okay, hold on a minute. Let me get there. I thought I had it. You can keep talking. I'm gonna catch up.
Hey, Ron? Yeah. Hold on just a moment, Ron. To the rest of the group here, Laverne, you should find it by the time I get back. I'm going to unmute myself.
Oh boy, now. Okay. Wow, nothing is going good. Well, let me not say that. Chapter 10. Okay. What's the name of the chapter?
The name of the chapter, Concepts of the World and the Universe.
Concept of the world and the universe. Because this looks like I'm just scrolling and scrolling, and looks like forever for me to get to the I'm at the beginning. Concepts of the world and the universe. All right. Dream and illusion. Okay.
You got it?
I got it.
Okay. Okay.
Dream and illusion.
We
were in this chapter last week. I can't remember.
Hey, if you're not doing it, ladies, continue to go through and identify what those 6 sections are, and I'll get back.
Oh, okay. So you said the physical universe, that was the second one. And then it must be the reason the physical universe happened would be the third one.
I think, let's see,
All right.
the reason the physical
Con-
universe happened, yeah.
And then,
concept of the universe. Okay. And then the next thing I got is unity.
oh, and then time would be the next one, I think.
Yes.
Hmm.
The reason.
And then
Okay.
the real world.
Okay. Time. Let me get to that.
And then the real world is, that must be the last one.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's where I am at the real world now. Where are we supposed to be?
Well,
That's the
now that's a
last.
question. Oh, we're supposed to be,
Heaven and the
still,
universe. Heaven and universe is another section on page 149.
I got that.
So that would be 6.
Mm-hmm. Because I don't remember this from last week. So I was trying
We
to.
didn't cover this last week.
Oh, okay. So we're
I
just
oh
think
yeah,
we ought
heaven
to,
and the universe.
Okay,
Sorry, I
okay.
missed one. Okay.
So we're just starting chapter 10.
Yeah.
yeah,
I think we
yeah.
should start over at the beginning because I don't remember any of this either.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, if you said page 138, that's where we talk about unity. And in the first section, the dream illusion. Yeah, anyway.
All right, now
What
the
page
only
does
thing
chapter
is
10 start on? Oh,
I can't see you. There you are. Now I can't. Hold on.
mute yourself. I got a question for the group. Jim.
Hold
Yeah.
on, Laverne, please.
Oh, okay. I just
It
want.
starts on page 136.
Okay. All right. That's all I wanted to know. Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay,
Yay!
I unmuted myself.
All right.
I can turn off my phone now.
Yes, sir. All right. Now, I know we're recording and everything is all interrupted and everything. Laverne, I'm good at multitasking, but eventually I just have my limits here. I can't do it.
It's okay.
As
Okay,
you can see, Ron is here. And Ron, we're just getting started with Unity and A Course in Miracles.
right.
And we are in chapter 10. It started on page 138. Can everybody hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody?
Yes.
So, Ron, we started on 138, and Laverne was taking people on a tour of the 6 sections in chapter 10. And so you could see how impressive the titles are. Isn't that an audacious selection of questions to be addressed? Now, Laverne, you were taking the lead on going through it, right?
Well, not really. I have it online. It's on my phone.
Oh,
It's on my phone, and the pages that don't correlate to the print
right.
copy.
And
So I
that's where
right.
we left off, right?
Mm-hmm.
When Ron called.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, the first section, Laverne, you had a question for me, or you wanted me to go on mute? Did we get past that? Or
We
you
got,
Yeah, we're past it.
All
Mm-hmm.
right. Just to reiterate, the first section is called Dream Illusion. And for everybody with the book, it started on 138. And
No.
then the next section is called the physical universe,
Okay.
page 139 for those in the book. You see it, Laverne? The physical universe?
I think Dream Illusion started on 136.
That's what I have.
Yes. My bad. Dream Illusion 136. And then the physical universe is 139.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
All right, Laverne, how you doing? Is Laverne there?
she's muted.
I'm sorry, I'm doing great.
All
I'm doing
right.
great.
So the next section is it's called The Reason the Physical Universe Happened. Do you see it? It's on 141.
Mhm.
And then the fourth section is called Time. It starts on 145. The fifth section on 147 is called The Real World. And the sixth section, which is on 149, is called Heaven and the Universe. Now, isn't that everything you ever wanted to know at this point? Especially when you consider the beginning chapters where it starts at the beginning and tells us about consciousness and about the one mind and about God. I mean, think of the things that we've covered in roughly 150 pages. So I haven't always been impressed with everything that was said in the descriptions, but man, I can't help but be impressed. I mean, these are not boring questions, are they? So
No,
I have to give them their props for just coming up with what they would try and tackle. So I think we'll get a lot from this book. Uh, I just think it's a very valid try at scholarship and put a lot of thought into writing this book. Don't you? Or you're not as impressed as I am?
Mm-mm.
You're not?
I'm not really.
Why? Tell me a little about that.
Um, it didn't. I don't. There's not a lot of clarity to me in terms of the real difference or the commonality between the two or the difference between the
Mm-hmm.
two. It
Mm-hmm.
seems like that there could be more clarity.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with you at the level of content, but
Mhm.
in terms of what it's organized to address, it's pretty lofty,
Mhm.
about the heaven and all. I mean, some of the topics to me are pretty ambitious. So maybe they don't clearly answer it to our satisfaction, right? That's what you're saying, right, Laverne? Uh, but it's a try and a very worthwhile try. So that's the point I wanted to make in terms of review and summarizing where I think we are today with this book study. Uh, Other comments or questions? I didn't mean to spend all night with it, but just reviewing where we are. we were in that first section last week called Dream/Illusion, and we finished the section on A Course in Miracles, and we were to start what Unity has to say about dream illusion tonight. So if we can get our readers together on this, I think we'll be ready to dive right in. I have Sherilyn as reader one, Sherilyn reader one, Laverne reader two. Joan, are you reading or no?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so you'll be reader three, and then Ron is reader four. And I guess without further ado, let's get on into it about unity.
You want me to be
Oh,
a reader?
Debbie, that's who I'm missing. My apologies. You were here earlier, but would you just be reader five, Deb,
Sure.
after Ron? All
Mm-hmm.
right, let's get started, my friends. We're at the top of 138. Oh, Sherilyn, you're muted. That's what the problem is. There we go. Now we're
Okay.
ready, Sherilyn.
All right. Decades earlier, Charles Fillmore mentions the same concept as found in A Course in Miracles. Adam went to sleep, never woke up, and is in a dreamlike state of consciousness. There are additional quotes referencing the dream state. A limited
Let me just stop there and make sure we're on the same page. Do you know that? Have you seen that phrase in A Course in Miracles, everyone? Where it's like Adam fell asleep and nowhere is there mention. You know what we're talking about
I'm
from the
aware of it.
Course?
Yeah.
So they're saying the same thing is in unity. But again, keep in mind, it's almost prophetic that unity was founded the 1870s, 1880s, and A Course in Miracles is about 100 years later.
18,
Laverne, go ahead.
1889.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And The Course in Miracles is what, 1975 when it
75.
was published? That's almost 100 years later. So Unity is 100 years before A Course in Miracles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yet they're saying that same phrase is found in Unity writings. And if you go back, back at the appendix, it says where each of these passages comes from. Uh, Sherilyn, do that first one now, and
Okay.
we'll see where that came from in Unity.
A limited concept dream of Jehovah God caused a deep sleep, mesmeric state to fall on the man Adam. Nowhere in scripture is there any record to show that Adam was ever fully awakened, and he, man, is still partly in this dream state
Okay,
of consciousness.
and you see that's footnote 481, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to the back of the book and find 481, as I'm trying to do, you'll see it comes from Mysteries of Genesis, written by Charles Fillmore. And while we're back there, you see it, reference 481. 482 will come from Charles Fillmore's The Revealing Word, and then another passage in Myrtle Fillmore's book, and then Dynamics for Living. So that gives you the flavor of what unity writings these passages are from. So Sherilyn, read some more.
Okay.
Yes.
Nowhere, yeah. Nowhere in Scripture is there any record to show that Adam was ever fully awakened, and he, man, is still partly in this dreamlike state of consciousness. In this state, he creates a world of his own and peoples it with ideas corresponding to his own sleep-benumbed consciousness.
Do
The
another
sense,
one. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
the sense man is only half awake, going about in a dream and thinking it is real life, is 482. He, the separated Son, is ever in the presence of the Father, and the Father is helping him to awaken from the dream of sense and to judge wisely and to discriminate between the worthwhile things of spirit and the false and undesirable things of immaturity. Again, that's 490, 483.
Yes.
Okay. We are awakening out of our dream and false hope of satisfaction in personal kinship into the likeness of the God love in which we feel the joy and the satisfaction of universal brotherhood.
Okay.
That's 484.
So why don't we stop there and see what your thoughts are about what we've read? Unity does seem to say the world is a dream. At least sometimes we picked out a few. Here's the thing that bothers me. When I go to church at my Unity church, they never talk about Fillmore's writings very much. Why is that? Do you ever hear at your Unity service a service or a Sunday message that talks about the writings of Fillmore? Maybe we'll use one quote or something.
Yeah.
But the whole body of Fillmore, Myrtle Fillmore, Charles Fillmore writings, I'm not that well acquainted with. Are you?
I am. I think it depends on the minister. There's
Yeah.
some ministers quote Fillmore, both of the Fillmores.
No, not so much quotes from, but for example, like look at this footnotes that we were quoting. Like, okay, how many times at your Sunday service have you heard of mysteries of Genesis or the revealing word? I have heard that one
I
sometimes.
use the revealing word quite a bit
Yeah.
for
Now,
metaphysical translation. So
I
I
do
use
know
it.
that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
I do hear that one. I'll admit it. Myrtle Fillmore's Healing Letters.
Read it.
Keep a True Lent.
Read it.
that. I read that too.
How to Let God Help You.
Yes, especially that one. I read
Okay,
that.
now I know you've been in Unity training.
Well, not all of that unity training. We used to keep the true Lent every Lenten season. We would
Yes,
start
okay,
that.
because
I've done
it's
that one.
the
Yeah.
Easter
Right.
season.
And the healing letters, we did that with book study. So a lot of the Fillmore books
At your church?
at the church, right?
Is that right? So
Yeah.
maybe it depends.
Right.
How about the rest of you? Are you very familiar with the dynamics for living or the revealing word compared to A Course in Miracles, for example?
Well, I've read some of it. Fillmore's a tough. Charles
Tough reads.
is
Yeah.
a tough read. I'll tell you.
Maybe that's part of it.
I mean, he wrote 100 years of, the late 1800s.
Yes.
Right.
Different
So
words,
that's what
different language,
125 years ago. It can be
Right.
very difficult to.
Ron, how about you? Do you know these books of Fillmore very well, or?
No, not at all.
Okay. You
So
know,
I guess I'm the only one because
well,
I'm,
no,
Yeah.
Debbie seems somewhat familiar, and
yeah.
I've heard it a little, but
Mhm.
there's no particular class at my church, even if it's
Mhm.
not the general congregation. I've never heard us do a class or a workshop on Charles Fillmore and what those principles are.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
it just struck me as odd. Most of our sermons are a little more practical,
Mhm.
lighter weight messages than trying to deal with Charles Fillmore.
And maybe
Mhm.
that's
I think,
because
yeah, I was going to say,
because of the audience, the people
Yeah,
who
that's
come
what
Mhm.
there.
I'm
I,
thinking too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I think,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know when Eileen was there, when she was the minister at Unity of
Livonia.
Mhm.
Livonia,
Yeah.
she used to do Fillmore because we discussed at one time because I was saying the same thing that Sherilyn
Really.
was saying, and that Debbie was saying, his language is hard to get, tough to get through Fillmore because of the
Mhm.
language, but Myrtle, her stuff is real easy to read and really
Really.
Yeah.
easy to relate
Oh.
to.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Very much so. But
Yeah.
Eileen used to do Fillmore, used to do some of the,
Mhm.
Okay.
mhm.
Well, I think this
Mhm.
book has opened me up to a much deeper exposure to unity than I was used to. And so I appreciate it for that. And then when we get to chapter 12, I'm interested in that because it'll be their take on the 12 powers of unity.
Right. Right.
So it's been a worthwhile study going through this book overall to me, even though, as you said at the outset, Laverne, I haven't necessarily been completely satisfied with the descriptions so that I could
Mhm.
have fairly maybe clearer distinctions or
Mhm.
understanding.
Mhm.
At any rate, I was looking at the last things that Sherilyn read, and it's like one, two, three, four. In the fourth paragraph from the top, it says, He, the separate Son, is ever in the presence of the Father, and the Father is helping him to awaken from the dream of sense and to judge wisely. Did you see that?
Mhm.
Mhm.
I wanted to ask you, how is the Father helping him to awaken? How do you
When
see?
I read that, my thought was he's using ACIM to help him.
Yeah, but this was exactly.
Yeah,
But
Mhm.
this was 100 years before
I know.
ACIM, and
It's taken us that long to figure it out.
that's what caught my eye. This was prophesied way before A Course in Miracles.
Mhm.
And to me, if you think about it, the whole structure of A Course in Miracles is as an educational device.
Mhm.
Look at the learning. Look at the educational vernacular. It talks about lessons and learning and goals and about teaching.
God
And that's
remembered
why,
that we were ready for it. We grew
yeah.
up.
So,
Mhm.
my conclusion is that the world is a lesson. That
Mhm.
is the redeeming quality of an otherwise tragic mistake. The world is a lesson. And for me, that changes everything because
Mhm.
okay, it's the nothingness of a dream, but it's mighty valuable if it's a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
That changes your whole way of seeing what happens in daily life. So things that I used to be bitter about, I take another look at it because, oh, is this another lesson, another test? And can I get an A instead of a C minus this time? Now I'm excited to move forward into that situation, whereas before it was frightening and I would retreat from it. Y'all understand what I'm saying? It turns everything around if this is all a lesson. And this is God's way of helping man to awaken from his dream of sense. Did you get that much out of what we just read, or is it just me?
Well, you did. You got a lot. Yes.
Indeed. Other comments or questions or anything? All right. Thank you, Shirley. Laverne, you know where we are?
We are awakening. Is
It
that what
says, here are two unity quotes.
I got it?
Okay.
Here are two unity quotes on the world of illusion. Spirit is omnipresent, but man has hedged himself about by a world of illusion of his own creating, and through its mist he cannot see the Father or catch the light from the superconscious mind.
There's your word. It's funny how Spirit had you. You know how Laverne's always talking about Carl Jung
Yes.
and the super.
Yeah.
There it
Yeah.
is.
And I was going to comment too on what you were saying about how the Father awakens, um, and that's through the superconscious mind, right there. Okay.
Mhm.
We must understand clearly that the real life of all men is identical with our own, and that aside from the one life, all is illusion. And then we go into the physical universe.
Yeah, now hold up. Let's make sure we're good on what A Course in Miracles says about dreams and illusions and what Unity says about dreams and illusions. What are your comments? Are they the same, pretty much the same? Do you see differences in what they're saying?
I just see, differences in the language, of course. Spirit is
Yes,
omnipresent, but
yes.
man has hedged himself about by a world of illusion of his own creating through
Yeah.
its this. And in the Course in Miracles, it would be saying, hedged himself out by the ego, has
Mhm.
hedged. It would say the same thing, but just use
Okay.
it differently.
Now you're with us, you've been with us on our ACIM music and meditation where we go in depth
Mm-hmm.
into certain topics. Were you with us when we talked about form versus content?
I might not have been with you, but
Okay.
I
Well, this
understand.
is a
I
perfect
Yeah,
example.
yes.
The unity form is different from the Course in Miracles form,
Mm-hmm.
but isn't the content, the
Mhm.
meaning the same?
Exactly.
So for me, that's good to know. Remember, I kept asking, does unity say the world is an illusion?
Right.
Because
You
of
see,
course says it all the time. But now we find, I guess, less famously, unity does say that we're living in an illusion.
yes. And you kept saying, I want to see it. So now you see
All right, question answered. Good job. You want to
it.
anything else from anyone? Laverne, you want to read some more?
Okay.
Sure.
We must understand clearly that the real life of all men is identical with our own, and that aside from the one life, all is illusion.
Yeah, you read that already, though, didn't
Okay, yeah, I did. The
you?
physical
Okay.
universe. A Course in Miracles and Unity teachings agree the physical universe is not a direct creation of God. Both agree that something happened in consciousness prior to the appearance of the physical universe.
Okay. What happened in A Course in Miracles? What is the something that
The,
happened?
the tiny mad idea.
Okay, so yeah, let's see what Unity says. Go ahead, Laverne.
A Course in Miracles. The seemingly existence of the physical is the projection of our mind. We project our thoughts and judgments, making up a world based upon errant belief in separation. What we then perceive in the world is actually a reflection of our thoughts and judgments back to us. Yet it is our belief in this illusion that perpetrates its seeming existence. The world as you perceive it cannot have been.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead. I think Sherilyn had a call. Go ahead, dear
Okay. The
Laverne.
world as you perceive it cannot have been created by the Father, for the real world is not as you see it. God created only the eternal and
I'm
everything.
sorry, I'm on another call.
I'll unmute you. You go ahead and take, I'll mute you. You go ahead and take it. All right, go ahead, Laverne.
Okay. The world as you perceive it cannot have been created by the Father, for the real world is not as you see it. God created only the external, and everything you see is perishable. Therefore, there must be another world that you do not see.
You want to
But
do some more? Yes, go ahead.
what God did not create does not exist, and everything that does exist exists as He created it. The world you see has nothing to do with reality. It is of your own making, and it does not exist.
How are we doing? Comments? You familiar with these statements, aren't you? All
Mhm.
right. Sherilyn, you finished your call? Yes? All right. So we can unmute again when you get ready. All right. Other comments about what we've read? Let's go on then. Joan, you want to read the next paragraph? Thank you, Laverne.
Okay. Guilt makes you blind. For while you see one spot of guilt within you, you will not see the light. And by projecting it, the world seems dark and shrouded in your guilt. You throw a dark veil over it and cannot see it because you cannot look within. The gap between reality and dreams lies not between the dreaming of the world and what you dream in secret. They are one. The dreaming of the world is but a part of your own dream you gave away and saw as if it were the start and ending, both.
Yeah, why don't you finish all of that for ACIM? Continue on the next page there.
Okay, you are the dreamer of the world of dreams. No other cause it has nor ever will. The end of the world further attests to its unreality. Can what has no beginning really end? The world will end in an illusion as it began. Yet will its ending be an illusion of mercy, the illusion of forgiveness, complete, excluding no one. Limitless in gentleness will cover it, hiding all evil, concealing all sin and ending guilt forever. So ends the world that guilt had made, for now it has no purpose and is gone.
So in those readings, beginning on 139, the one paragraph up from the bottom, it says, guilt makes you blind. And it says, guilt makes you blind and projecting that the world seems dark. All right. What is the cause of the guilt? Isn't that what you want to know?
Well, for me, the guilt has always been thinking that there's punishment.
Punishment requires that you did something wrong.
Exactly. And that if you do something, well, for me, if I do something wrong, I might feel guilty. I've done something wrong.
And if you've done something wrong, it's almost like you can't help but feel guilty. If you've
I
done
think I
something,
separated from God. That's what I did wrong.
that's where this is
This
headed.
is going.
If you think you've done something guilty, you can't, something wrong, you can't help but feel guilty because you feel like there should be some repercussion or accountability. And you would be correct. In the Bible, it says, the wages of sin is death. It says it in the Course in Miracles also. That is true. The wages of sin is death. But if there is no sin, there are no wages to be paid for guilt. If you're guiltless, that whole scenario cannot occur. How are we doing?
Okay.
It's like Kenneth Wapnick said, at any rate, he says it's an inappropriate solution to a non-existent problem. And that's basically what's being said. Look at the last part of that on page 140. The end of the world further attests to the world's unreality. Can what has no beginning really end? The world will end in an illusion as it began. The whole thing is impossible. That the Son of God could be guilty is an insane notion. What does that say about God? I'm asking.
That God must be guilty as well.
And that God is not infallible. That God is not a perfect creator. There are a lot of implications there. So what we're doing is carrying guilt for what could never happen. Is this sounding like A Course in Miracles now? Isn't that the whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
And so the solution is to stop thinking guilt thoughts. Because when you put thoughts into a thought power machine like ours, it has major consequences. And so the whole thing would be undone if you stop thinking about stuff that's impossible. The other one at the top of page 140. You are the dreamer of the world of dreams. No other cause it has, nor ever will. I gotta stop dreaming impossible dreams, or I'll see impossible things reflected back to me. It's pretty good, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Other comments from any of you? All right, we can do a bit more. Let's see what Unity says about the physical universe. We're up to Ron. Is that okay? Joan, is that okay? We go to Ron, I think.
Works for me.
All right. Sounds great.
Unity. Many references throughout the Fillmore texts indicate the physical body and the physical universe are not the direct manifestation of God or divine mind. The entirety of the relative world is based on divine ideas. That does not mean there is a God or divine mind intending a physical universe. God is not matter nor confined in any way to the idea of substance termed matter. God is that intangible essence which man has formed and called matter. Thus, matter is a limitation of the divine substance, whose vital and inherent character is above all else limitless. But God does not form things. God calls from the depths of its own being the ideas that are already there, and they move forth and clothe themselves with the habiliments
Yeah.
or clothes of time and circumstance in humankind's consciousness. The Garden of Eden, or paradise of God, is in the either spiritual substance, and we see that the fall of man antedated the formation of this planet as we behold in geologically.
Yeah, let's stop a minute. Give Ron a
Oh,
chance to rest.
Thank you.
You're
Spiritual
very
substance.
welcome. Uh,
We see
let's
that the
talk
fall of man
about some
today.
of this. The first paragraph, God is not matter nor confined in any way to the idea of substance termed matter. Comments or questions about that? Are you with us on that?
mhm.
I mean, I had to think about what unity calls substance, which is um, energy, living energy. Is unity's definition of substance. It's living energy everywhere present. And so I had to think about what are you talking about when, okay. So I had to
Well,
put,
if you're going to think about it, think about all of it because
mm-hmm,
it says substance termed matter.
mm-hmm,
So, what is matter? Is
mm-hmm,
also part of that understanding, see?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So, matter, I think we're getting close to form, something solid, something
mm-hmm,
with form in that.
mm-hmm,
Uh, but it says God is the intangible essence. Okay, it's an essence which man has formed and called it matter. So there's that word form somewhere in there. What about that word habiliments, right, Ron?
I think so.
In that paragraph, I never saw that word before. But what does it mean? Can you tell in terms of context of the paragraph? Well, it kind of helps in the brackets, right? Close.
Close.
So they move forth and clothe themselves in time and circumstance in humankind's consciousness. All right. Kind of forms moving across the screens of our consciousness. How am I doing with that? It's deep.
Mhm.
Anybody want to say it better?
See, that's why we be saying about Fillmore.
Mhm.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm thinking, and I could be way off here, that clothe themselves with something that our humanness is able to understand.
Okay.
We form it in our head to something that makes sense to us in
Yeah.
our environment.
Yeah. And I don't think we've included formlessness in our intellect into our vocabulary. We don't deal with formlessness. Uh, it's outside of our concepts of reality currently. Read, let's see, Ron was reading. Deb, would you finish up this section and we'll start closing out?
Okay.
It's
So I'm at the top of 141, right?
Did
Yeah.
we read Garden of Eden or Paradise of God?
Yeah.
Yeah, we read that. Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
So we're at the top.
So the last, okay. We are by birth a spiritual race, and we should never have known matter or material conditions if we had followed the leanings of our higher consciousness. Ages of thought upon the reality and solidarity of things have evolved a mental
Atmosphere.
atmosphere, sorry, that has produced the present material universe. There are millions of other concepts. These and millions of other concepts are the work of men, humankind, and not God, as is popularly supposed. However, they all rest on the original God mind and can be restored to the perfect law and order of that mind by those who free themselves from the mental entanglements with materiality and identify their thinking with that of the mind that is spirit. Ye shall know the truth, and the truth will make you free. The truth shall make you free.
Yeah. By the way, I'm looking at where that passage is from. It says 495. It's from a writing called Jesus Christ Heals. I never heard of that. You know?
That's the Fillmore book.
Yeah, you heard
It
of it,
doesn't even
Laverne?
say which
Yes,
Fillmore.
yes. I even have it in my online collection,
But
my on Kindle.
is that part of your curriculum or just part of your long standing in the Unity Church?
Well, it's a book, and yeah, it's one of the it's all part of the Fillmore philosophy and theology that we're supposed to learn, of
But
course.
have you studied it? Was that part of your training?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. But for us lay folks, have you ever heard of that book? It's called Jesus Christ Heals.
No.
Anybody else? Okay. At any rate, everything is mental. This whole thing is a big dream powered by a mistake. Now, that's hard to believe. It's so far-fetched. But if that's true, what sort of amazing super creatures are we?
Pretty amazing super creatures.
It's like, to me, in religious terms, I call it glorious. And I've heard the word glory in spiritual context. Sometimes we heard it attributed to war, like the glory of being a soldier and marching off to war. But man, that's nothing like the power that, if this is true, what kinds of beings are we really, and what are we capable of?
Miracles?
Yeah, miracles would be natural, coming from beings that know themselves. It would be default, wouldn't it?
It would be. Yeah.
What a happy ending to this friggin' story, because the only difference between the misery and the glory is something as non-confrontational as changing your mind. Is that violent in bringing about, when you say a revolution, this would be a non-violent revolution, wouldn't it? There's the answer, right? It's just that we got to get enough people to make it register.
Yeah. Yes.
Anyhow, you think we did okay tonight?
I think we did
Yes.
fine.
Yeah.
And I think you'll find that book, and I'm almost positive, in your bookstore.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
work in the books. I'm in there. All the
So
Fillmore books.
you've seen all these books, right, Debbie?
And you can get them as a collection.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to buy them all separate.
All right.
Is I don't know that we have that one, but it's available. They're available.
I bet you have it in the bookstore. I'll be willing to bet 100%.
We might have it.
I
It might
would
be one of those heavy ones that's hard to pick up.
I would love to see some lay people's classes or workshops, helping us to be more familiar with the actual writings. Not just people that go into certification or licensure or something like that, but those in the lay congregation that would like to take a look at unity and the principles and where they come from. It's deep, isn't it? As deep as A Course in Miracles.
Well, at Unity of Flint, the minister there, he's always doing book studies on the Unity books.
Yeah.
So the next time they're finishing up now, something in prayer, some prayer book, I forgot. But as soon as they get back to the new class, I'll send everybody the link. So whoever's interested, they're
Because
usually
I'm thinking there's a couple of people at our church. What's her name? Emmy Kelly.
Yes.
Yeah.
She might be interested in doing something. I don't
Right.
know. We'd have to ask.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
it'd be
Right.
worth
Yeah.
asking, but
Yeah.
I am aware that
Mhm.
the 100 years ago colloquial writing would
Mhm.
not make a class like this an easy read. There has
No,
to
it's
be
not.
a lot of effort to break it down into more modern terms that we can deal
Mhm.
with.
Well, like I said,
Mhm.
Fillmore, he was the genius, but Myrtle Fillmore, her writings are very inspirational
Yeah, I see.
and understandable. I mean, they're written at a
Mhm.
level you don't have to scratch your head or try to get a
Oh,
dictionary
that's
when
great, Laverne.
you
So
know.
yeah, I appreciate you sharing that.
Mhm.
Anyhow,
Okay.
maybe it opens some new opportunity, but uh, like I said, this book has kind of helped open my eyes as both a Unity member and a Course in Miracles student and
Mhm.
teacher about I learned more about Unity. I appreciate that. Let me just say it that way.
Okay.
Any
Okay.
final questions or comments or anything like that?
Did we say a nonviolent revolution or a nonviolent revelation? Or are they the
It'll
same?
have to be a revelation before
I,
we have the
I
revolution.
I think it's the revolution will come through a simple
Revelation.
revelation.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I
Okay.
feel you on that, Ron.
Thank you,
Yes,
thank
thank
you.
you.
I'm like, when is it going to happen? When
There
is it
you
going
go.
to happen?
Well, listen, I think our time
Mm.
is almost up for the evening. As usual, I invite you to stick around for our family discussion period. And for me, it looks like I may have successfully transitioned from my old computer with the terrible speakers to this new computer. So I'm glad I made it almost through our first Zoom program on it. It's called Jim's Laptop 2. There you go. Thank you for being here. Stay around for family discussion if you can. Otherwise, I will see you guys soon. I love you. Thank you
Okay,
so
love you
much.
Love you
too.
too. Thank you, Jim. And I love all of you. Thank you as
Thank
well.
you. Thank
Thank you,
you.
brother.
Yes, thank
Bye
Be
you.
bye.
well.